$500. That's what Gordon Irwin hands over every time he walks into his pharmacy in Knoxville. His wife's cancer drugs run nearly $1,000 a month on top of that. He's 80 years old. He worked his whole life, and every month he watches his Social Security check disappear into pill bottles. There's a federal program that could drop those costs to as low as $5.10 for a generic or $12.65 for a brand name drug per fill. Gordon probably qualifies, and he has no idea because he owns a house and he assumed that disqualified him. It doesn't. Your home doesn't count. Neither does your car. And by the end of this video, you'll know if you qualify and exactly how to apply. The whole application takes about 30 minutes. I'll walk you through every step. Subscribe so you catch this and every benefit breakdown we put out, because nobody else is going to hand you this information.
So what are we actually talking about? Prescription drug costs in this country are brutal if you're on a fixed income. AARP's survey in 2024 found that 78% of Americans 65 and older say their prescriptions are, quote, too expensive. A separate study published in JAMA Network Open in 2023, led by researchers at Vanderbilt, found that 1 in 5 older adults skipped a dose, delayed filling a prescription, or rationed medication because of cost. 1 in 5. That's people splitting pills in half, leaving prescriptions sitting at the pharmacy counter. If you're watching this, you probably have your own version of that story. Different name, different pharmacy, same gut punch every month. What most people don't realize is that a big chunk of these costs can be eliminated, legally, through a federal program that most seniors have never heard of. It's called Extra Help, also known as the Low Income Subsidy. And before you tune out thinking this is some kind of welfare, stop. This is a federal benefit you paid into your entire working life. Every paycheck, every tax season, for decades. You funded this. You're entitled to it. So what does Extra Help actually pay for? 3 things. Your monthly Part D premium, your annual deductible, and your per-prescription copays. With full Extra Help on a benchmark plan, your premium drops to 0. Your deductible drops to 0. Your copays? $5.10 for a generic, $12.65 for a brand name drug. Per fill. That's it. And once you hit $2,100 in total out-of-pocket spending for the year, every covered drug drops to 0 for the rest of the calendar year. You pay nothing. There's more. Before 2024, Extra Help had 2 tiers, a full benefit and a partial benefit with higher costs. Starting January 2024, the Inflation Reduction Act wiped out the partial tier. Everyone who qualifies now gets the full benefit, no exceptions. Around 300,000 to 400,000 people were automatically upgraded when that change kicked in. According to the Social Security Administration, Extra Help is worth approximately $5,300 a year. And one more thing, Extra Help waives the Part D late enrollment penalty. If you delayed signing up for Part D and you've been worried about that penalty piling up, Extra Help erases it. Now the question you're asking, do I qualify? The answer is going to surprise a lot of you. The number one reason eligible seniors never apply is this: they think they own too much. They look at their house, their car, their belongings, and they assume the government will count all of that against them. It won't. What does not count toward the asset limit? Your primary home, regardless of value. It could be worth $500,000. Doesn't matter. It's excluded. Your car, at least one vehicle. All your household furnishings and personal belongings. Every piece of furniture, every appliance. Life insurance policies, burial plots, and up to $1,500 per person set aside for burial expenses. That's self-declared on the application, no proof needed. Even property you use for self-support, like a rental property or farmland. So what does count? Bank accounts, CDs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, IRAs, 401ks. That's the list. And the limit for those countable assets? $18,090 if you're single. $36,100 for a couple. That's with the burial expense disregard already included. Let me put that in plain terms. You own your home. You've got a car in the driveway, furniture in every room, a life insurance policy, a burial plot, and your bank accounts and investments total less than $18,090. You could qualify. Now let's talk income. The limit is $23,475 a year if you're single, $31,725 for a married couple. Monthly, that breaks down to $1,956 for an individual, $2,644 for a couple. For context, the average Social Security retirement benefit in 2026 is roughly $2,076 a month. That's actually above the $1,956 monthly limit for an individual. But plenty of retirees collect less than the average. And if Social Security is your main income and your check comes in under $1,956, you're likely in range. On top of that, certain types of income don't even count toward the limit. SNAP benefits? Excluded. Housing assistance? Excluded. Earned income tax credit refunds? Excluded. Home energy assistance? Excluded. The first $20 a month of most income is automatically disregarded. So even if your Social Security check is slightly above that monthly number, the disregards could bring your countable income under the line. This is not Medicaid. Let me say that again. You do not need Medicaid to qualify for extra help. It's a completely separate federal program with its own thresholds, and those thresholds are often more generous than Medicaid's. Think about your situation right now, your monthly income, your bank balance. Forget the house, forget the car. Are you under those numbers? If so, keep watching, because the application is simpler than you think. This might be the best 30 minutes you ever spend. At $5,300 a year in savings, that works out to an effective rate of over $10,000 per hour of your time. There are 4 ways to apply. First, online. The form is called the SSA-1020, and it's at ssa.gov/extrahelp. Takes about 15 to 30 minutes. Available around the clock. Second, by phone. Call 1-800-772-1213. TTY users, that's 1-800-325-0778. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. your local time. Third, in person at your local Social Security office. Find yours at ssa.gov/locator. Fourth, through your state Medicaid office. This is especially useful if you're also applying for Medicaid or a Medicare savings program. What do you need to have ready? Your Social Security number and your spouse's if you're married. Your monthly income details, Social Security benefits, pensions, wages. Your bank account balances, and your investment values, stocks, bonds, CDs, IRAs. You do not need account numbers, just dollar amounts. Something that eases a lot of anxiety. Social Security cross-checks your information with other agencies. You don't need to submit proof documents up front. After you apply, SSA sends a decision letter within a few weeks, sometimes up to 6 weeks. If you're approved, you get a special enrollment period to pick or switch your Part D plan. One critical point, you can apply year-round. There is no deadline, no enrollment window, no, you missed it, try again next year. Apply whenever you're ready. And if you're worried about getting in trouble for applying and being denied, don't be. There is zero penalty for trying, none. Now, if you don't want to do this alone, there's a free service in every state that will walk you through it personally. It's called SHIP, the State Health Insurance Assistance Program. These are free, unbiased counselors, not affiliated with any insurance company. They're in all 50 states plus the territories. They will sit with you, help you fill out the form, and answer every question, no cost. Find yours at shiphelp.org or call 1-800-MEDICARE. That's 1-800-633-4227. There are a few more things most people don't know about Extra Help. Even financial advisors miss this. If you apply for a Medicare Savings Program, MSP, through your state Medicaid agency, that automatically triggers Extra Help enrollment. You don't need a separate application. And depending on which MSP type you qualify for, an MSP can also pay your Part B premium, which is $202.90 a month in 2026. That's over $2,400 a year in additional savings on top of Extra Help's $5,300. Not every MSP type covers Part B, so ask your state Medicaid office which level applies to you. Also, if you already have Medicaid, SSI, or an MSP, you may already be getting Extra Help without knowing it. SSA sends a purple letter called a deemed status notice. Check your mail. Extra Help enrollees can switch their Part D plan once per month, effective the first of the next month. Regular Part D members, they're locked into their plan until open enrollment, October 15th through December 7th. But if you have Extra Help and your plan stops covering a drug you need, or you find a better formulary, you can switch immediately. You are never stuck. One more layer. About 45 states plus DC and Puerto Rico have state pharmaceutical assistance programs, SPAPs. These provide wraparound coverage on top of Extra Help and Medicare Part D. And SPAP payments count toward your annual out-of-pocket cap, helping you reach that $2,100 threshold faster. To find your state's program, visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE. Let's talk about what happens after you're enrolled. Because I know the thought in the back of your mind is, what if things change? Every year, SSA sends a redetermination letter, usually late August or September. It asks whether your income or assets have changed. You must respond within 30 days. If you don't respond, your coverage ends December 31st. When that letter comes, respond. Do not throw it away. But if your income changes mid-year, Extra Help continues through December 31st of that year regardless. You keep it through the end of the calendar year. If something significant changes in your life, marriage, divorce, a spouse passes away, a big income shift, call SSA at 1-800-77-21213 and report it. If you're denied, you have 60 days to file an appeal using Form SSA-1021, and there is no limit on how many times you can reapply. If your circumstances change, income drops, you spend down assets, a spouse passes, you can submit a new application immediately. Even if you don't qualify for Extra Help, the Inflation Reduction Act put a hard cap on Part D out-of-pocket costs for everyone. In 2026, that cap is $2,100. No Medicare Part D enrollee pays more than that in a year. Extra Help stacks on top of this protection, and the real-world impact matters. After the 2024 Extra Help expansion, a study found that roughly 70,000 low-income seniors stopped skipping their medications because costs finally dropped enough to make adherence possible. So let's do the math on doing nothing. If you qualify for Extra Help and you don't apply, you're choosing to spend roughly $5,300 a year, about $440 a month that you don't have to spend. Over 5 years, that is $26,500 left on the table. Those 2 to 3 million eligible seniors who haven't applied, collectively, they're foregoing billions in benefits every single year. You now know more about this program than most of the people who work at your pharmacy. The only question left is whether you're going to use what you know. Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp and apply online today. Or call 1-800-772-1213 or find your SHIP counselor at shiphelp.org. They'll help you for free. And one note, all the income limits, asset limits, and copay amounts I mentioned are 2026 figures. They adjust each year, so verify the current numbers at ssa.gov or with a SHIP counselor before you apply. If someone you love is on Medicare and pays for prescriptions, send them this video right now. You might save them thousands of dollars a year. We break down benefits like this every week. Benefits you've earned that nobody told you about. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. You paid into this system your whole life. It's time to collect.